our channel. We are so excited to kick off the first video of our holiday series. Not only are we going to be making a delicious sweet potato casserole, we're also going to be giving you 5 tips to help you in the kitchen, especially during this busy cooking season. With that being said, we're going to ask you all if you can like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now we're going to go ahead and go over our ingredients. Alright, so to get us started, we have 2 sweet potatoes. We baked ours in the oven, but you can actually boil them too if you like. That would be totally fine. We have some heavy whipping cream. We have salt, cinnamon, vanilla extract, and we also buttered an 8-inch pan really well. We have some brown sugar, some mini marshmallows, so cute. And we have some pecans that we're going to chop down even further a little bit later. And we've melted some butter, and we have 2 eggs as well. All right, guys, you know, as always, we have the ingredients listed below the video and the description. So we're gonna go ahead and get started.
All right, you guys, so the first thing we have to do is remove anything that we don't want in our potatoes. Sometimes with sweet potatoes, there's like little tiny brown spots or strings. So we're gonna use our stand mixer for this. You can use your hand mixer, or you can also use a fork if you want to. But we're gonna mix it for maybe a couple minutes just to get as much out as we can. And while we do that, we're gonna go ahead and go over our first tip.
All right, y'all, so tip number 1 is plan. You want to write out your menu and write down each item you're going to need to make each dish in your menu.
Right, you can even go through the recipe in your head.
Yes.
Just to not miss anything, even as far down to sauteing some onions or something in a little bit of oil, because you might not have no oil.
Right, exactly.
So you really have to get that serious, unless you're, good like that and you know what's in your pantry and stuff. But we don't like to forget anything, so that's how we make our grocery list. We even write out the store that we're going to get said item from on our list. Also, in the case of duplicates, like say you need an onion for your dressing and you also need an onion for your greens, you can color code your list to keep you from running back and forth.
This is Ricki's jam, y'all. I'm telling y'all, she gets down on her list.
I do.
For the holiday season.
I do. Because usually I type a list up on my phone, but for the holidays, I don't like to forget anything. Because it's just so much, and it's easy to forget stuff. So.
Yes, it is. And of course, you can also use the Alexa app if you have that. She'll tell you, she'll write out everything for you and, whatever. Right. But like she was saying, around the holidays, we just like to write everything out.
Right.
So, yeah.
No item forgotten.
That's right. No dish left behind.
Right.
No ingredient.
Right. So we're going to go ahead and finish getting the little strings and stuff out of our sweet potatoes. And then we'll be back to tell you the next step in our casserole. All right, y'all. So we looked through our sweet potatoes and we're satisfied with how they look. So the next step would be to add in your butter, cream, eggs, sugar, cinnamon, and salt. So while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and go over our next tip.
And we also have our oven preheated to 375.
Oh, right. Forgot to tell you that.
That's
my bad.
That's why we're partners.
Right.
All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. All right, y'all. So now our tip number 2 is organization. Organization is your best friend when you are in the kitchen cooking. Like if you're not organized, which we have experienced for years, we were like kind of all over the place. And it just costs you a lot of time. So one thing you can have is your spices, like all the things your seasonings, what you're gonna need to cook. If you can have them all located in 1 or 2 locations, like for us, we have this here in the drawer, we have this organization. So this is great for when there's other people in the kitchen cooking and they're helping you and they don't have to say, hey, where's the salt or where is this? Everything is already here in the drawer. It's already pre-labeled. They can just grab what they want, put it back, and it's there for everyone else to use. And we also have this area here by the stove, which is great because if you're at the stove cooking, you have spices here, right here in hand's reach to grab those while you're cooking. So those are great to have there too. And also we have, skillets, man. Your cookware is so important to have the right cookware and have it, if you can, have it right near your stove. Like the way these skillets here, that's been such a time saver for us. Yeah. Just to be able to grab them. You know, you're making breakfast in the morning. Hey, you want to grab something really quick, want to make something. The skillets are right here for you to grab, and you don't have to look. Ricki's giving me a signal. What else you gonna do?
I'm sorry. So sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
I forgot to tell y'all we're gonna add some vanilla in there as well.
Yes.
But go ahead.
All right. So yes, your what you're cooking with, your pans or skillets. So important to have right near you if you can, because I remember we had to dig and dig. Oh my goodness, where's the skillet? And it just frustrates me so bad. And so it's been helpful for all of us. Ricki's like, when we first did this, she was like, oh, this is so great.
Right. Especially them by the stove. Oh my goodness. Because you use them like every day. So
yeah, so that's great. And and then also your pantry is very it's helpful to have everything labeled, everything right here. As you can see, we did our pantry, and we still have more to do in here, but it's just, you know, it's at least we can work with it. So if we don't have enough over here, we could just grab what we need. Again, everything is labeled, so it's great if there's other people in the kitchen.
Great tip.
Yep, that's a great tip.
That's a really great tip.
And we are speaking from experience.
Right. So I'm gonna add the eggs in one at a time while this is mixing, and we're gonna start this on low. Y'all, so we're just gonna add in a little bit more cinnamon. Y'all know we like extra cinnamon, so
all right, y'all, so our next step is I'm gonna go ahead and put our potato mixture into our baking pan here. And while I'm doing that, Ricki is going to talk to you guys about our next tip.
Yes. So the next tip would be making sure you have the right kitchen necessities. Things like your appliances, some good knives. We're really going to focus on those two. But appliances, something like a food processor, will save you a lot of time. Food processor or a stand mixer, as you have just seen. For example, growing up, when I would cook with my mom during the holidays to make our dressing, we would crumble up the cornbread with our hands, which would take longer, but it worked really well, of course. But we would kind of have to wait for the cornbread to cool, because of my fingers, not hers. She got fingers of steel.
And that was great when she was younger. We was, do that. We would be talking and, talking about cooking and going over tips, and she would be asking me questions. And that's how she learned how to cook. Just doing stuff like that.
Right.
So, but now that she's older and we're busy, the appliances help.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead.
But yeah, so you don't even have to wait for it to cool. Using a food processor, store it in there, and a couple pulses and you're done. So that's a great example of how an appliance can save you some time. Knives, you really want to make sure you got a good set of knives, some good quality knives that are sharp.
Yes.
Because you're actually more likely to cut yourself using a dull knife.
Yes.
And it's quicker to use a sharper knife, because you spend less time struggling with any produce you might be chopping up or whatever. Because the knife just works more efficiently.
Exactly. Now these knives here, we're going to show you all are knives that we just recently purchased, and they have been lifesavers and time savers in the kitchen.
Yes.
But you still have to be careful.
Right. We'll have those linked in the description, of course.
Very sharp knives, and they'll be going out of here for Christmas for a few people that we know.
Right.
So just to talk a little bit more about these knives that we really highly recommend. This is a 15-piece set and comes with an 80-year warranty. We love products that have a good warranty. These also have 2 knife sharpeners here for you to use, which is very good to help you take care of your knives. And they have the kitchen shears that you can take apart and clean. Our other ones didn't do that, which is great. And something else Ricki really loved when she saw, and we all did.
Yeah, the knives are labeled. I had never seen a labeled knife before. Yeah, that makes it easy to learn the knives and, you know, the right knife for the right job. Or if you're like me, you just pick up a knife and use it. That's fine too. Mm-hmm. They're really great knives. They come with 6 steak knives. So
yep, nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for that tip.
Okay.
You just make sure your necessities. Of course, there's more that you could mention, but we just thought we'd hit the 2 that we thought were kind of the most important.
And this, as you can see, is kind of chunky, which is fine. Because we really just want to get it, the rest of it will be fine in the oven. Mm-hmm. So we just want to get it flattened so we can get our topping on top of it.
Correct.
And that'll be good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and set this aside while we work on our topping, and we're going to move on to tip number 4.
All right, y'all, so we have a medium-sized bowl here, and we're going to go over the toppings our ingredients for our topping. Mm-hmm. We forgot to tell you guys that you're gonna need some flour. Like we said, the measurements will be in the description. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna need some flour, some brown sugar, your chopped pecans, and some melted butter.
All right, y'all, so now we're gonna move on to tip number 4. And tip number 4 is so important. It is to clean as you go. I cannot tell you how important this is. It's so helpful if you have someone else in the kitchen or you yourself. Let's say you put something in the oven, you have a few seconds. Go ahead and wash the few dishes that you used because you may reuse things. Let's say you want a particular bowl or something like that. It's the perfect size for whatever you're making. You may need to reuse that, and it will save you a lot of time later. And also, if you have a dishwasher, if you're using that, it's great to, before you start cooking, go ahead and make sure it's empty. Mm-hmm. So as you're cooking, you can put your dirty dishes in the dishwasher, and then when you are done, you can just start. That's helpful too, and it's a time saver.
Yeah, it does save you a lot of time.
Yeah, so just clean as you go. Trust me, you'll feel a lot better. You know, and you can cook. I know I like to cook in a cleaner kitchen anyway. Mm-hmm. I don't like organized chaos, as they say, in the kitchen. I like for my kitchen to be clean while I'm cooking, and it's good, especially when we're all in here cooking together, to have things organized and available for everyone to use.
Yeah. So, especially if you're enlisting help.
Yes.
With somebody that's not often.
Not often.
Right. If they're not in your kitchen often.
Yes.
You can easily direct them to something.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that's very helpful. That saved us a lot of times.
Yes.
Yeah, so. And as you can see, we chopped our pecans up more. Look, whoa. Come on, tongue. They're chopped a little more fine than they were before.
Yes.
So, so that's it for that tip. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're mixing this up. This is gonna be good, y'all. Mm-hmm. And so we have some, the butter is gonna kind of bring it all together because we want it to be clumpy. So, it can spread nicely over your potatoes.
Right. It's kind of gonna be like a streusel topping. I don't know if you guys have seen that, like on a Dutch pie, Dutch apple pie.
Yes.
And this is kind of the texture that you want your crumble or streusel topping, whatever you want to call it, to be. It's spreadable.
That is so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that looks good, Ricki.
Yay.
Good job.
Okay, so now we're on to our next step, which is to add about half of your marshmallows on top of your casserole mixture, and then top with your streusel, and then we're going to bake it for about 25-30 minutes, and then take it out of the oven and put the rest of your marshmallows on top, and then bake it for another 10 or 15 minutes. Doing it this way helps your marshmallows not burn.
Right.
You just want them to be soft and
Pretty.
kind of, golden brown, pretty,
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when doing this step. But go ahead, Mom, with tip number 5.
Yep, number 5. All right, so tip number 5 is one that I really appreciate. When my niece Roselle was here, she just kept telling me, don't sweat the small stuff. And that's so true. I've just been really doing a great job trying to instill that every time when I get stressed or, thinking about all the stuff that we have to do. We're launching this week with our other business and stuff. I've just been under a lot of stress. So I've been trying to just chill. So don't sweat the small stuff in the kitchen. That's a great tip. Because that's happened before. We burned the cornbread or something happened or you spill something and you have to replace it. It's like, okay, no big deal, And it helps to have someone in the kitchen. Like my husband's really good about, okay guys, what can I go to the store, and help you all with, what do you need? I'll just run and get it real quick. So it's helpful to have somebody in the kitchen and have someone who's willing to help you all out, when you mess something up. So that's a good thing. It's not a big deal. You can replace that whatever you burn with something different, or just remake it and just say, hey, if you're having guests over, hey y'all, I just had a mishap, but we still gonna eat. So it'll be okay. Just don't sweat it.
Right.
So that's a great tip.
Especially if it's like your first time.
Yes.
Maybe cooking a big dinner by yourself or something. That's some good helpful information right there. Yes,
it is.
Because I'd straight up be stressing out in the kitchen.
I know. It's like, oh, did I do that right? I'm like, it's okay, So, so that's something that we wanted to share with you all. Just, you can change your menu up if you want to.
Right.
He's like, you know what? I messed up these potatoes or whatever, which we don't have potatoes on Thanksgiving. But just if you have potatoes or soft potatoes, you could just say, you know what? I'm not going to make that. I'm going to do some mac and cheese instead or something else really quick. So just switch out your menu if you have to at the last minute. It's not a big deal.
Or take it off the menu.
Okay, right. Just take it off the menu.
They'll be okay.
Exactly. So, and that's something, my niece, she said, they'll be all right. It'll be okay, She said that when she was here, and that really helped me. So, that's our tip number 5. So if you all have some tips
or any more helpful information,
yes, please let us know, because we are always open to more tips and ideas in the kitchen. Anything to help organize or make our lives easier, we really, really appreciate. And we just like to share things that have helped us, over the years in the kitchen. So I know some of you may say, oh, these are not, I know that, but this for people there's a lot of people out there who probably don't know this. So it's just good information.
Right.
We think things that have helped us. And we are by no means professionals, y'all. Look, like we always say, we're just trying to share with you what has helped us.
Alright, y'all, so like we mentioned, we're going to go ahead and bake this for about 25 minutes at 375. And then we'll come back, add the remainder of our marshmallows on top, and then bake it for another 10 to 15 minutes. And then we're going to taste it for you guys.
Alright, y'all. We'll see y'all back here in a bit. All right, y'all, so this is after 30 minutes of cooking, and it already looks amazing. Can't wait to taste this. It's gonna be so good.
You could stop here if you wanted to.
Right.
But why do that? So we're gonna add on the remainder of our marshmallows, and then we'll put it back in the oven, and then we'll be back again for the final time.
All right, y'all. It's time to dig in. Let's see what this tastes like. Lord, we thank you for this wonderful dish. All right, y'all. Come on, Ricki, hit it.
Go hit it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so mad. Look at that, y'all. Got the same idea.
Right.
Look at that. Girl, what did we just do? Oh, wait.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Everybody that eats this needs to sign a waiver first.
Man, this is
Dangerous.
wow. It's so good, y'all. For real. I know we always say this is so good, but it really is.
We promise.
I mean, you have to make this.
You have to. This would be really good with your Thanksgiving dishes. Everything that you're gonna have with it.
Definitely.
Because the sweet and the savory together. Oh.
And then the crunchiness from those marshmallows and the pecans.
The crunchiness from the marshmallows is
man.
kind of a surprise because it's like
Surprise.
you're thinking marshmallows, you know.
Right, soft.
But they're
you get a
toasted.
crunch. Mm-hmm.
They're really good.
Flavorful.
Y'all, this was one way to kick off our holiday series. For sure.
Yeah. What a way to do that.
Yes.
This is a great recipe.
Yeah, definitely have this on your Thanksgiving table this year. Or Christmas.
Yeah.
Whichever one.
Whichever one
Both.
you want.
Why not?
It's great.
So we hope you guys enjoyed video number 1 of our holiday series.
Yes, and I hope you take into consideration some of our tips or all of our tips that we gave you all. And yeah, thank you all for watching. And
Don't forget to like the video, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we are really close to our 500 subscribers, y'all.
and our giveaway.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss out on that.
So we'll see you guys next week for video number 2.
Yep. God bless. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.